Hey guys. So I was deciding what to wear for makeup today, and I realized that I never got back to you about that Clinique liner that I had bought. Clinique Quickliner for Lips Intense in number 12 Intense Licorice. I had bought this to pair with my Clinique Black Honey lipstick because I felt like the liner that I was using wasn't really intense enough to bring out the true color of the lipstick. And so I had gone to the Clinique counter and bought this liner, and this was on recommendation of the woman who worked at the Clinique counter. And I never got back to you to let you know whether it was a good pairing or not, so I figured I would put the two on together one at a time today to show you what they look like individually and then together, and we can assess together whether we think it's a good match or not. I'm burning a new incense back there that I have not tried before. I just opened the package. It's the Hem White Sage Cone Incense, and it smells so good. Now, Hem is a brand of incense from India that you will see at a lot of stores that sell incense, and so far I really like it. Alright, so let's start with the Clinique liner. And I've never used a Clinique liner before, so I'm kind of curious to see how this goes. Really smooth, creamy, doesn't drag at all, not dry. And very pigmented, as you can see. Here's where it gets tricky. See how blurred out my bottom lip line is? It's really hard to do liner, but I mean that's the reason why I need it all the more, because it's not a defined line. I just keep going over it and over it. Okay, and I like to usually line and fill in my lips when I do liner, because that way if there is any differentiation between the colors you won't see it as much if you fill in your lips. So let's fill it in. And this is a twist up, unfortunately. I don't like these kind because you seem to go through it a lot faster and they usually dry up a lot quicker. It's also harder to, when I use a pencil, I tend to like shade with the side of the pencil, and it's harder to do that with the automatic kind. Wow, this looks like it's going to be a great match for that lipstick. It's a little awkward because I'm not using a makeup mirror, so I want to make sure I don't make any mistakes and have to, clean it up or anything. All right, I think that's enough. All right, let's try putting the lipstick on now. Clinique Black Honey, made quite possibly the world's most famous lipstick of all time. They took it away for a while, then they brought it back, and I think they even took it away a second time and brought it back. They even came out with a whole line of these at one point. I think the only thing you can get now is I think they have this, and I think they have a pink one, but at one time they had a whole line of all different colors of this formula. The concept behind this was it's called Almost Lipstick, and I guess the idea was that is it a lipstick? Is it a lip balm? Is it a tinted lip balm? Because it's nice and moisturizing, which is another reason why it's a good idea to use a liner, because anytime you have a lot of moisture in a lipstick, it does have a tendency to bleed. Okay, I think this liner is perfect for this lipstick, so big thumbs up. That's what I was looking for, was trying to get the true color of the lipstick. So when you look at the two combined, yeah, this is a great match. The other one that I was using was pretty good, but you know, I want the color to be true of what I'm wearing on my lips. All right, I know a lot of you were probably dying to see how I made out yesterday when I went to the mall. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch yesterday's video first, now, actually, because otherwise you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. So go back and watch yesterday's video, and then this is the conclusion of that. So I went back to the mall, and fortunately the same person was there that sold me the concealer in the first place, because otherwise it would have been so much more confusing to have to explain all that to somebody. And I showed her my receipt because she was like, hey, what's up? Because she saw me just standing there, so she kind of knew, I guess, that something was going on. She goes, what's up? So I showed her the receipt, and then I showed her the screen of my iPod Touch, where I had taken a picture of the website with the price of the item. And I said, I did not get charged the same amount of what the price of this item was. I said, you overcharged me $4. And she said, no, I didn't. She said, JCPenney Sephora is not the same company as regular Sephora, and they can set their prices at whatever they want. So she said, when I scanned that item, that's the price. I said, are you kidding me? It's not the same company? And she said, no, but she said, seeing as how you're showing me the Sephora price, she said, I will do a price adjustment. So she scanned my receipt, and then she rang it through. I looked at the receipt that she stapled to the original one after, and it looked like what she did was she did it as a return and then put like price adjustment or sale price or something on the receipt, and she gave me $4.25. She gave me $4 because that was the difference in price between what I paid and the website, and then she gave me 25 cents because once she had done the price adjustment, then that also would have adjusted the tax that I paid. So she gave me $4.25 cash. And I said, I really appreciate you doing this for me, but I gotta tell you, I don't feel like that's right, that Sephora charges one price for their items, and then JCPenney Sephora's can inflate those same prices. She said, yeah. She said, I don't really think it's a good idea either, but she said, I work for Sephora at JCPenney, so I have to honor whatever prices they set. I said, well, I understand that, but I said, I don't think a lot of people know that they're separate companies. And she said, yeah, well, probably not. But I wanted to let all you guys know that, you know, if you see an item on Sephora's website and you think that's the price that you're going to pay if you go to Sephora at JCPenney, it might not be. But if you can show them on like a smartphone, or you know, if they have Wi-Fi at the mall you're shopping at, or if you can show them that you know that there's a price difference, they'll do a price adjustment. Or at least I would assume that all the Sephora's inside JCPenney will do that. But I don't know. I don't like that. I don't feel like you should have to go through that just to get the price that Sephora themselves sets. And also, if it's not the same company, then how is it that the rewards card works whether you're at Sephora inside JCPenney or regular Sephora or placing an order on Sephora online? How is it that that card is linked if it's not the same company? But I totally believe what the girl said. I mean, it makes perfect sense. And she seems to be, you know, quite knowledgeable about everything that's going on. And she, you know, when I told her that I had talked about this in a video, she got upset and she was like, oh, did you say something? Did you put me down? Or I said, no. I said, you know, I've actually had a very good experience shopping with you. You know, you're very knowledgeable and it was a pleasant experience. I said, I just feel like I have an issue with Sephora because I don't feel like, you know, there should be a price discrepancy between Sephora at JCPenney and regular Sephora. I just don't think that's right. So I didn't say anything bad about you, but she got kind of upset there for a while until I made it clear that, you know, I didn't have any issues with my experience with her in any way. She's actually, you know, very good at what she does, and she explained everything quite well and made it very clear what was going on. So anyways, I want to let all you know about that because I don't feel like a lot of people probably know about this, and I figured this, you know, who better than me or other people who make videos to get the word out that, you know, you need to kind of be on guard with the pricing issue. Because the impression that I got from her is if you know, can show them somehow that you know about the price difference, they'll adjust the price for you. So I could have saved myself some trouble if I had done my homework ahead of time and, you know, brought something with me to show her that, you know, I was aware of what the price was on the regular Sephora website. All right, so that's the end result of that, and just wanted to let you know about that, and that's it. So I'll see you tomorrow, and I was going to tell you what I was going to do a video about tomorrow, but just in case it involves me going out and finding a certain product today, I was going to do, you know what, I'm not even going to say, because then if I can't get the product, I won't be able to do the video, so it's better to just not even say what I had planned on doing. So that's it for today, you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.